Hey guys, another small funds battle. Um, just to start, quick aside, I was thinking of starting this battle off with something like "Let's go fishing," get gamble fish, and then yeah, then I decided not to do that. My roommate threw something at me. Anyways, I have even less than normal this time because I don't think I brought a unit of archers or anything. I just brought a high-level rank 5 unit of Naginata warrior monks and combined that with my typical Great Guard and melee general's bodyguard. Kyosen Temple. No, this is Bay of Many Faces. Bay of Many Faces. I really like this map, especially in 2v2. So you can get some really interesting choke points, and sometimes they'll hole up in the mountains, and you'll have a nice, cool skirmish fight, and everyone will close in and have a jolly old mashup. Anyways, this guy had an archer-heavy army, which normally would make me pretty happy, because that means you can wrap him up with your Great Guard if you're running a suicidal 3 units like I am. But he decided to back it up with some Yari Ashigaru and a Yari Samurai unit. And the Yari Samurai unit is a bit of trouble because normally with the Yari Ashigaru you can just hit them with your melee general and they should break, or at least you'll kill a lot of them. The Yari Samurai are different though. Even with the no spear bonus against me, they can still wreck you up. Alright. Decided to go for the melee shrine because on small battles my tactics usually revolve around killing their general and hoping that they run the hell off the field even if they still have several hundred men left. I'm pretty sure that's not dishonorable, as long as I'm not using like cannons or something to snipe his general. So this time I decided to just send my dudes up. There's one nice thing about having small units. It's the fact that every single person you play assumes you're hiding guys. Most of them don't know what the high level units cost, and even if they do, they don't realize or count in the veteran cost for each guy, so they sort of just chill there waiting for you to come to them, which is perfectly fine for me. This dude was pretty smart. He was sending a couple units of light cavalry up to take this shrine. Luckily for me, my general is a total badass, so he will just like activate his bonsai ability and go head to head. I'll take that on any day. It's a little bit of a risk because if they're in wedge formation or if you're in wedge formation and some glitch happens, you can get some really weird stuff. Like his charge bonus actually killed several of my guys, and I was really freaking out here. I'm like, oh shit, 28-36, I'm dead, right? But once you get into melee combat, your melee generals don't lose too much head to head. I mean, I can't show you the unit card right now, but with Bonsai activated, he's got like 30-something melee attack and a ridiculous charge. Anyway, so that was a good start. I still have to deal with the main problem, which is the fact you got a bunch of spearmen and archers, and if archers get off a couple good rallies, you're screwed. Luckily, he decided to send one of them into the woods. So I obliged him and charged straight at him. I mean, you take less damage from being hit when you're in the woods, and they can't shoot very well when they're in the woods, so I was like, okay. Left my monks up there. I still had my Great Guard crawling his way up slowly through the woods here. This guy was really determined just to sit where he was. He did send a guy over to the melee shrine, which sort of made me kind of galvanized me into motion because you really don't want to give them an additional melee bonus. And here's his Yari Samurai, which sort of freaked me out a little bit. You really don't want to risk going close to his general and having all his archers suddenly turn around and unleash some serious hurt on your general, because he won't survive that even with 11 armor or whatever he has when you fill out the armor stat. So I sent him in the woods just in case and bring my Great Guard down. His Yari Samurai, predictably, started going after my general. He's like, alright, I'll push him around a little bit, and so I promptly sent my Great Guard to hit these two dudes over here. Cue the Great Guard. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe. Yeah! Alright. And, his Ashigaru just ran the hell out of the way when they saw me. So, the minute I see his, Yari Ashigaru come up to me, right, and he's pulling his guys out of harm's way. I could charge that, but that'll turn into a mess, and if a couple of my guys plow through these from behind, they'll get stuck in the middle of the Yari Ashigaru. Not a good idea. So instead, I decided to take out the #1 threat to my Great Guard, which is these stupid Yari Samurai. And when you have ignore spears, you should not be afraid to charge anything from the front except for a spear wall, but luckily Yari Ashigaru Samurai can't make spear wall. So anyways, I'm like, hey, why don't I hit them from the front and have my Great Guard charge them from behind where it's safer for them, and you have a Yari Samurai sandwich, and that was awesome. Take some from behind, but the real damage comes when, ooh, yeah, that was nice. And luckily they didn't stand around to fight too long. Even with 80 guys left, can still mess around with you some pretty bad because they have such a big bonus, but they broke almost instantly, which was fantastic for me. Um, and at this point, I'm starting to think that I might be able to wrap this battle up with only my cavalry. And so, since I'm lazy, I just sent my monks, left my monks up there. I didn't really want to bring them down anyway. When you've got the melee bonus, it's almost like adding some attack, because instead of breaking at about 10 guys, which your Great Guard typically will, and your general around, I don't know, 7, 6, they'll fight basically to the death. And with his ashigaru up here and his other one down at the melee shrine, suddenly you've got a big core of units that do not like to see cavalry. So I charge right in, and I mean, the ashigaru just don't stand a chance. You send my general in, and Great Guard has that awesome ability to restore fatigue to everybody, so you know you're going to be fighting at full capacity. And if you just double-click a couple times, get the hell out of the archers, the ashigaru can't catch you. If he had his other ashigaru up here, it would have worked better, because he sends us one this way, I'd have to go break left and right, and I would have gotten flanked, or I don't know. It would have not have been quite as good, but instead I get a good, long, prolonged melee exchange with these bow ashigaru, and then his general comes down to engage my guy, and even with a slight numbers advantage, that's not going to end well for him. Pull my Great Guard out to hit his general, because at this point I'm sensing that if I can kill the general, they're just going to break immediately. I don't have to flank them or anything. They're just all going to go. And sure enough, his general gets surrounded, hit up a little bit, and all of his guys decide that they want to run home. And there you go. Pretty simple. Oh, simple. It always makes me sweat a little bit when you're outnumbered like that, but you know, typically they don't really micro too well, so you can kind of flank them and often break them up with just your general. Would not be possible without melee general, though.